in that measles outbreak that began in West Texas. There are now a total of 258 reported cases across 3 states. Here's HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a longtime vaccine skeptic, on Fox discussing his ideas for treatment.
So in highly unvaccinated communities like the Mennonites, it's something that we recommend. But we also understand, there's a lot of mistrust of the vaccines in that community.
Joining me now, CNN Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta. I mean, you've been to West Texas. You've been to the epicenter of this outbreak. What do you make of what Kennedy is saying?
I mean, in some ways it's more conciliatory about vaccines than he's been in the past. He's actually saying that they can prevent infections, but then he kind of still muddies the water, and he
points out it's a personal choice, which of course it is
a personal choice, but he says there's dozens of kids within this community that have been vaccine injured, which would defy all trends that we have seen with regard to MMR vaccines in terms of vaccine injury. It can happen, but it's a pretty rare thing. When I was there in West Texas a couple of weeks ago, there were about 68 cases between Texas and New Mexico. Now it's 258. So they're getting close to actually getting more numbers than all of last year, for example, over there. So we're going to sort of see where this goes. But I met with the state health department director. I met with pediatricians on the ground, the person who's running the ER and the ICU in the children's hospital and the pop-up clinics. And the message is consistent. The vaccination is really critically important. Only 80% of kindergartners in Gaines County, which you just talked about, got vaccinated.
Wow.
80%. You need to get above 95% to sort of get that community immunity. And so that means not only would unvaccinated kids be at risk, but even vaccinated kids, because it's 97% effective, not 100%. And so there's people who are really worried.
I want to play more of what he said in that Fox interview.
So there's a lot of poverty in that area. The food is kind of a food desert. The best thing that Americans can do is to keep themselves healthy. It's very, very difficult. It's for measles to kill a healthy person. And so nutrition is absolutely critical, and we need to eat good foods. We need to eat whole foods. We need to get plenty of exercise, and we see a correlation between people who get hurt by measles and people who don't have good nutrition or who don't have a good exercise regimen.
I mean, it seems like the most important thing is a measles vaccine. But I mean, are nutrition and exercise the issue here?
They're important, but they're not the issue here. I mean,
they're obviously great things.
Yeah, I mean, being healthy is obviously
eating well is
important.
good.
Those are all really important things. But